Buenas amigos de la huerta.
Hello, friends of the organic garden. Here we are again, and this time we are going to make a seedbed with aromatic plants. I'm thinking more of an organic garden than culinary spices and things like that. So we're going to work with basil, lavender, parsley, thyme, rosemary, and oregano. Okay? They do have culinary properties, but also they have important properties for the organic garden. So we're going to use these seed trays. I have two. There are several ways to do it, but we're going to do it like this. Let's put this aside because first we need to mix the substratum we're going to be using. In this case, we're going to use earthworm, humus, and also pig moss. We have this container to mix it, and we'll do that. Okay, let's begin mixing. It's not necessary to have exact proportions. And 1 and 1 would work. Okay. Let's throw some vermiculite. It's going to help the roots. It's not really necessary if you don't have vermiculite. They will sprout just the same, but this is it's gonna help it. It's gonna favor the process. Let's mix it very well. And once we've done the mix, we're going to fill the seed trays. So it's a very simple thing to do. Okay? Let's fill each space and press it down a bit. Not too much. If you see you need to put more in, just do so. Okay? It should be a little below the edge because we're going to put the seed later and cover it. Let's get the other seed tray and do exactly the same. We're going to fill this one just like the other one. And once we've got the seed trays filled, what we're going to do is start putting the seeds in. I'm going to start with the basil. I like it very much, and also to make pesto and all that is great. But besides, in the garden, if you put it between the peppers and tomatoes, it repels many insects and plagues. So I use basil a lot. Okay, I'm gonna put them here in these two rows. As you can see, basil and this kind of aromatic plants have very, very tiny seeds. So later we might just really use 1 or 2 plants from here, but I'm going to plant many in each hole. So let's spread them a bit, just they can fall as they please, and then we'll cover them. In this row, I'm going to plant thyme, which is more medicinal plant than anything, but it also helps in the garden. It can be used for headaches and things like that. It's a plant that grows more to the sides than vertically. I'm not going to plant many of these. With thyme, it's the same thing. It's even smaller than basil, so it's very hard to just choose 1 or 2 seeds. So I'm just going to put a few. And in this other row, I'm going to plant rosemary, a plant I also like very much. It can also be reproduced by cutting, so we'll do both ways. It's used as a repellent because it repels mosquitoes and other type of insects. So it helps to fight away plagues also in the garden. And also I like the smell very much. The rosemary are a bit larger than the others and the color is different too. So it would be easier to pick just a few, but I'm going to put several, so I always can remove them later. In this other row, I'm going to plant lavender. Lavender is a plant that produces strong aroma and it attracts pollinators to the garden. So lavender seeds are also very small, black, the same process. In this last row, I'm going to plant parsley. Parsley, well, it's not so useful in the garden, but I like it very much for cooking, so I'm going to plant some and they'll be in my garden. These are parsley seeds, a bit smaller, the color is different too, so they are very easy to identify. And the oregano, I'm going to use these 6 holes here. It's a very interesting plant because due to its good smell it attracts a lot of pollinators. The seeds are tiny. Let's spread them over here. Let's just throw them there just like salt. Now we cover them. We are not going to press down too much, okay? Just softly. And lastly, let's put some tags in there so they know which is which. If we don't do that, we might forget in which row is what. Just to finish, you have to remember that the seedbed should be somewhat moist. I have this prepared. It's water with some earthworm humus. I use it in the garden. I'll do another video to explain how to make this. And with this sort of sprinkling can, a homemade one with several holes, let's just water them very well. We'll continue watering throughout time. If you see it gets dry, and remember they should be in a warm place with a lot of light. Well, this is it. This is what I wanted to show you in this video. We've seen how to make the seedbed. We'll do a sort of part 2 to put the plants in individual pots and maybe later how to transplant them to the garden itself. Okay? Well, that's it. I'll see you in the next video.
Hasta el próximo vídeo.